There we go. Oh,
Yeah.
First blood. Oh, you see that?
He's a healthy fish, isn't he?
He was a good fish.
Nice rainbow. This guy slammed it. That was a good fish. What would you say, Steve? Maybe 3 pounds or so?
Closer to 4.
It's mid-September and I'm out fishing with my good mate Starlo at Carcoar Dam. Neither of us have fished this dam before, but it reportedly holds natives, redfin and our main target, trout. We're fishing Loch style from Starlo's boat, wind drifting with a drogue, one of my favourite ways to target trout. And we're expecting to wade through a fair few redfin in order to find them.
Nice.
Here you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a trout too.
Oh, nice one, Steve.
Good feeling about that edge of that shadow line. I mean,
Yeah.
he hit well out from it, but I landed right on the edge of it. He could well have followed it out. First blood.
Yes.
New body of water. It's always good, isn't it?
It sure is.
That was a nice rainbow. Oh, he took the dropper fly too. That was one of my ties.
Lovely. Lovely fish, mate. Nicely done.
Yeah. Ooh. Geez, a nice clean fish. I'll give you a look at him when I can get hold of him.
Beautiful. He's a healthy fish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we've narrowed down the zone. So it was like a little scuddy sort of pattern. Yep.
Yeah, with a little rainbow coloured bead.
Nice. Oh, did you see that?
I saw the boil.
Oh, you saw the fish.
Was he a good fish?
He was a good fish. He was a nice rainbow. He was a nice rainbow.
On the hang?
Yeah.
On the lift after the
Just
hang.
as I
Yeah.
just as I pulled it out. Oh, he followed the blob up. Oh, I didn't hang it long enough.
He wanted it.
He did.
He must have accelerated after it when you...
Yeah, when I lifted it up.
Lifting the flies up through the water column like this is called fishing the hang, and it's a critical technique in almost any lake fishing scenario when you're fishing subsurface flies. The action of a fly rising vertically through the water column, like an emerging insect, often triggers trout to eat. And sometimes the eat comes right at the very end, just as the fly reaches the surface.
Yep.
Little redfin bump.
We found the redfin.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have 2.
Yep.
I have got 2.
Nice. Well, that was fairly tough.
Well, it looked promising, and you know, with your fish off the bank and then me getting one reasonably quickly, I thought, oh, I'm going to get a couple here. But
Yeah.
it didn't really come together.
No, well, we did manage to raise a couple of
If you
fish.
connected to that big one, that would have been a very different afternoon.
Yeah, that was a
It was a
great
pretty,
fish.
from the water that it moved, it looked like a pretty solid fish.
It was a good fish. Yeah. It would have been.
3 or 4 pounds.
I'd say 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it would have been 3. But yeah, I mean, there's a lesson in that, isn't there?
Always hang the flies. Anyway, good to go and check out some new water and
All day tomorrow.
yeah.
Around.
Yep.
Like you say, I think the heat of the day might be better.
Yeah, I reckon so. G'day guys. Well, it's the morning of day 2 today. The wind has changed overnight and it's blowing in from the northeast now. So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes things today. What are your thoughts for today, Steve?
Well, I don't know. It was a brisk -2 when we woke up this morning. It's the sun's out now, but it's still very, very cool. And yeah, as you said, the wind's gone from the west to the east, completely diametrically opposite. So it's going to be interesting. Different, we'll be fishing different banks, but they'll have been copying the prevailing wind. So yeah, look, just go out and suck it and see. A new waterway, you just never really know what's going to happen, do you?
Yeah, that's right. And it's not a very large dam here, so I don't know that there's going to be any huge difference between the lee and the windward shores. And the wind's been blowing more from the west, I think, for the last couple of days at least. So we might go and seek a little bit of shelter this morning and fish some of the more protected shores, hoping that the fish are sort of still over that side. And who knows? I mean, on a dam this size, it might not make that much difference anyway, to be honest. So I've lengthened my leader out and gone down in tippet size a little bit this morning. So I'm fishing a team of 3 flies, and I've gone out to about a 19-foot leader with 3X, and we'll see if that makes a little bit of a difference today. Anyway, we'll get out on the water and see.
Oh, it's one. Oh, red fin. Yeah. Gosh, I got a bit excited then. He actually gave it a bit of a rattle when he took it.
Did he?
Oh, just jumped.
Is it already?
Hmm? You betcha.
It's a little trout.
Little rainbow on the rock.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look, he'd be comp legal too. Look
He
how
would.
fat he is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is just the most immaculate little fish.
Good neck, isn't he?
Yeah. That's a trout?
Yeah. Just as I started the hang.
Nice.
Another little one.
Yeah.
That's more class.
Yeah.
There he is. Now, he took.
Top fly.
Ah, yeah. So,
Oh, I just.
what that tells me
Yeah.
is that I'm fishing a little bit too deep. So I'm going to switch over from the sink tip over to the floater. Stuffed up. I tied it. I had the line coming out of the wrong side of the river. That's alright, I'll put it on, I'll retie it. Bit of a slow session this morning. We've got a couple of trouts on the boat at least. It's been hard to really put together any sort of a pattern, hasn't it?
Well, that's right. I think the shallower water, the edges and the bays seem to be a little bit more productive. But yeah, it's hard to come up with a pattern.
Yeah, I suppose the closest we've had to a pattern is that one bay that we've found. It seems to be producing a few fish. The only other pattern really that we've found has been the fly, which has been a sort of mid-browny, tanny coloured bead-headed nymph. I think it's probably suggesting the little shrimp that are getting around in the edges. And interestingly, even the redfin seem to have been locked in on that, haven't they?
Yeah, nearly all the redfin have taken that sort of scraggy, slightly rough-looking nymph, fished at a sort of medium pace in mid-water, and the few trout that we've encountered have done much the same. So there's something there that's pushing their buttons.
Yeah, I think it's most likely those shrimp, the little scuds, and there might not be a lot of other food around at the moment, so the fish seem to be locked in on those. Anyway, the wind looks like it's perhaps coming down a little bit this afternoon, so maybe we might get a nice afternoon session with just the right amount of wind and sun, and who knows?
Yep, you just never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, more like a trout. Yes, trout. Oh. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, little one. Took the top dropper, the little wet, I think. Yeah, he took the little wet, the little orange and cartridge. You want him?
Yeah. Come back and try again.
We had a brief hatch of the dreaded jet skis, but fortunately these lowest of all insects burned off all their fuel in about 15 minutes and then disappeared again.
I think it's a reddy, but I'm...
No,
no,
I was
it's a
going to
trout.
say, I think it might be a trout.
He took it like a reddy.
Yeah.
He didn't sort of really eat it hard.
The point.
Yeah.
I'll have that one too.
You want him?
Yes, please. You've been going pretty slow, haven't you?
Yeah, fairly slow.
And what have you got on the point?
Just one of those little beadhead Craig's things.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know what we're talking about when we talk about a Craig's thing. Just do a throat pump on this guy too.
Yep.
Just in case. Get anything out of him?
That actually work. Have you ever got anything out of them?
Yeah. That looked like he had a bunch of Daphnia. Good Daphnia, I think. Olive Daphnia.
Yeah.
There was something small and dark in there. Oh, hang on. What's that? Is that one of those tiny little boatmen? Probably. Yeah.
You on a floating line or?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, full float. And I've been counting it down
Yeah.
about 10 seconds or so. And then just sort of figurating it back.
Yeah, I've gone to just the small Craig's thing on the end and that soft tackle wet, and I think the soft tackle wet's sort of acting like a parachute and not letting the thing get down quite as much. So I might
Yeah.
put another small bead on.
Yeah, I've got 2 beads and the soft hackle on.
Yeah.
They might even be eating these flies as a little clump of Daphnia.
Oh, absolutely. When I used to troll for them a bit, when the rainbows were suspended, they used to sort of suspend at about 14 to 18 feet
Yeah.
in a layer of Daphnia.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you get a diving lure that was the right colour, like it was nothing like, it was 3 inches long.
Yeah.
Once you got the colour right,
Yeah.
you started catching it. It's
Well, that
like,
Daphnia was definitely olive.
yeah. It's like some part of their brain just recognises that colour and doesn't really stop to think the size of the thing that it's attached to. Or it just goes, my God, look at the size of this Daphnia, I'm going to get it.
Yeah. There he is.
That would have been good.
He's got this nice little guy drifting into this bay. There's a few fish starting to rise now, so we're getting them up the top of the water column. Yeah, anyway, finally found a little bit of a concentration of fish, haven't we, mate?
We have.
Yeah. All right, you want to keep him? Steve's just casting at a rising fish here. We haven't got dryers on, we've only got wets on, but they're still taking it. Oh! Keep going, you might come back. Funny, isn't it? They're not always straight onto it. They have a bit of a look at it first and a bit of a follow before they take it. You might have gone now if you pinned him.
Yeah. A bit hard, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've found the spot at least, haven't we? Steve just casted a rising fish again.
Two.
You gonna have a shot?
And another one up in the bay, right? We'll come around.
All right.
There's a few in close.
Okay. There's a fish rising again, in by shore there. We're just sort of sitting waiting at the moment, waiting for fish to rise, rather than blind casting. So I think Steve's going to get a shot at this guy. That should drift us onto him in a little bit. There he goes again.
I reckon that's a better fish.
Yeah, it might be.
All the wiser fish is just waiting in there for the wind to push them really into him instead of getting out here hunting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was up high in the water. That one. I didn't let it sink at all.
No. Right up top, yeah.
A couple of inches.
Yep. Hasn't risen for a little bit, that fish. Oh, there's a rise.
Yeah,
It's in there. I'm going to cover that. I was just stripping back in fast to present to another fish, but this guy slammed it. Oh yeah, he's a nice one. He's a nice one. Ready yet? Woke up now. Got to be a little bit careful. I'm not super heavy. I'm on 3X, which is about 8 pounds. Can't force him in. Oh, oh, that hurts. Yeah, he popped the fly. There you go. Well, it was a good fish. What would you say, Steve? Maybe 3 pounds or so?
Closer to 4.
Close to 4? Yeah. Yeah, he was solid. All right, mate, get in there. Well, we ran out of light in the end, mate.
Oh, just as it started to get really interesting.
Yeah, we started seeing some really nice fish rising in that little sort of calm patch in the wind lane there at the end.
Yeah, there's some solid fish in here. I saw one that had to be 5 or 6 pound.
Yep.
And that one you lost was closer to 4 than 3, I reckon. It was a good
Yeah,
fish.
it was a good fish.
It's a really interesting place. I just get the feeling it doesn't have a massive density of trout, but
Yeah.
it's got some quality fish here. I'd like to put some time in and work it out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think perhaps in another month or so, when the hatches really start up, it might be a little bit easier going, but there's definitely some quality fish in here, that's for sure.
And not a bad camping spot.
It's bloody good. Well, thanks, mate.
No worries.
Good trip.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Your turn to cook dinner.
Okay.
After we got home, Starlo sent me a photo of the stomach contents of the trout. It was pretty interesting, not really what we were expecting, but if we come back next year, we'll be better prepared. Now, if you haven't already found it, go and check out the Starlo Gets Real YouTube channel. There's a lot of really great content on there. Thanks for watching, subscribe, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.